Do you remember that, Mr. Snerdley? Maxine Waters, we wondered what in the world she was talking about. Some years ago, Maxine Waters, when she let the cat out of the bag on a couple of things she was talking about. One of the things she said was that Obama's got this massive database. Nobody's ever had anything like it. It's going to be the greatest thing. No man, no party, has ever had anything as massive and as thorough as the database. Well, what the hell is she talking about? What it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Obama administration essentially has put together this massive database of the American people, personal data. It's a race database. It was in the New York Post yesterday. Actually, Paul Sperry, who is a senior fellow at the Hoover Institute. Key part of Obama's legacy will be the federal government's unprecedented collection of sensitive data on Americans by race. The government is prying into our most personal information at the most local levels, all for the purpose of racial and economic justice. Unbeknownst to most Americans, Obama's racial bean counters are furiously mining data on their health, their home loans, their credit cards, where they work, their neighborhoods, even how their kids are disciplined in school, all to document inequalities between minorities and whites. That's what Maxine Waters was talking about when she was bragging about this. This Orwellian-style stockpile of statistics includes a vast and permanent network of discrimination databases, which Obama already is using to make disparate impact cases against banks that don't make enough prime loans to minorities. Think subprime, it's back. Screws that suspend too many blacks. All of this stuff is being collected, cataloged. Punishments are to follow. Databases on cities that don't offer enough Section 8 and other low-income housing for minorities. That's what we described last week in this, the fair housing and whatever it is, where they're going to integrate neighborhoods by race and class rather than economics. Use a little economics, too. You know what this is being described as? Here's how Mr. Sperry ends his piece in the New York Post on this yesterday. The first black president, quite brilliantly, has built a quasi-reparations infrastructure perpetually fed by racial data that will outlast his administration. Quasi-reparations. They're chronicling every instance of what they claim is racial discrimination or inequality they can, for the express purposes of using the federal government to punish the guilty, to equalize whatever they want to equalize, neighborhoods, school districts, you name it. And, of course, there'll be money required to equalize the inequalities. There'll be money required to integrate certain neighborhoods. And that's why it's described as quasi-reparations. And the key here that will outlast his administration, that's something I don't think enough people are focused on, is how none of this is going to end when Obama leaves office. I don't care who the next president is, Republican or Democrat, whoever the next president is that makes any move toward changing anything Obama's done, the infrastructure is already in place to launch salvo after salvo at this new president and his party, even after Obama's gone. It's going to be unprecedented because all presidents, when they leave, that's it. Good manners, propriety, tradition, class, all dictate that ex-presidents are immediately ex. And they go away, and they don't comment, especially for the first year. There have been two notable modern-day violators of this, Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton. Even today, you can't find George W. Bush saying a word about what Obama's. I mean, not a substantive word. George H.W. Bush ditto. Reagan didn't comment a thing about Clinton when he was able. But that's not going to be the case with Obama or his buddies or the Democrat Party or what have you, particularly if they lose the presidency in 2016. Snerdley stuff has to be rolled back. This stuff can't be allowed to stand. Okay, This stuff can't be allowed. I agree with you. I agree. It has to be rolled back. This stuff can't be allowed to stand. That's what common sense says should happen, needs to happen, and will happen. There isn't any evidence of it happening. I know it's the exact opposite of a colorblind society. Remember when I first categorized the left as get even with themism?